There are children playing outside in the yard right next to our neighbors, and I'm going to be filming this video, and I feel really awkward, but we're going to do it anyway. Hello everyone, welcome to a new Cosplay Storytime. I know it's been a hot minute since I've done a Cosplay Storytime. That is because I haven't had a lot of story-worthy things happen to me at conventions as of recent, which is both good and bad. It means that I haven't been having any like kind of unpleasant experiences, but also it makes it so that I don't have anything like notable to share with you guys, and so therefore there are fewer Cosplay Storytime videos. I know you guys really like the Cosplay Storytime videos, so anyway, either way, I have a story to tell to you guys today. I also want to just note that I have a cute outfit on underneath, and I was really excited to wear it for this video, but then it got really cold out and I just couldn't, because I'm wearing a little crop top and it's adorable, but I couldn't brave the cold enough to just wear it in the video. So we're repping the boys today. I'm wearing my current favorite hoodie, which is not a bad thing. You know what? I'll take the Trigun hoodie. It's not a cute crop top, but it's still good. It's still good. So today I'm gonna be telling you guys the story about how things almost went wrong for me at Sakura-Con this year. That's kind of the best way I can round up this story. There's just a lot of like little things that happened during this story that I thought were notable and like would be fun to share, but they don't really all follow a theme. So we're just gonna say it's how things almost went wrong for me during Sakura-Con. So without any further ado, let's get into it. So like I said, this took place at Sakura-Con this year, and this was on the Saturday, which is the day 2 of the convention. So it's Saturday morning. We're supposed to do Amazing Digital Circus. Me and the people that I'm staying with, we're supposed to cosplay Amazing Digital Circus, and I do not want to. Was not feeling it that day, was not stoked about Amazing Digital Circus, was really hyper-fixating on Trigun, really wanted to be cosplaying Meryl. Also wearing Pomni, I did not feel body confident. It's kind of a sensory nightmare wearing that cosplay because of all the piping and the sequins, and they get caught on things, and there's just a lot about that costume that's just maybe not the most comfortable. Like if I'm really excited to be Pomni and really like hyperfixating Amazing Digital Circus, I'm happy to do it, but when it's a cosplay that you're not feeling excited about to begin with, you don't really want to make those sacrifices to wear it, right? But I felt that peer pressure from my group to like still wear the cosplay. So reluctantly, I wore the cosplay, had a miserable time, was not having a good time at all. So by 1:30, we finished up doing a photo shoot together, and I decided to just peace out. I'm done, and I decided to go back to where we're staying, which was luckily just like a 10-minute walk away, and go change into Meryl. Trying to do that compromise, trying to make sure that everybody's happy, but it's also really important to make sure that you are cosplaying something that you're excited about, because of course conventions are expensive. They only come around once a year, so you know it's really important to maximize your experiences and make it the best experience possible. So that's kind of what I was aiming to do. So the thing about this convention, I'm just gonna have a sip of water. The thing about this weekend was that I had terrible luck with remembering or keeping good track of my cosmetics. So I had left my foundation in Canada because the last convention I had gone to, which was Sakura-Con, I had forgotten my beauty blender, which was a huge issue because, you know, beauty blenders are important and very central to doing makeup, right? It's the main tool you use to apply your foundation. So I made extra sure that I remembered my beauty blender this time around. I made sure to put in my bag. I like took note of it. I was like, here's the beauty blender. It's going into my bag. It's in my bag. We are not forgetting it this time. But in the midst of doing that, I had completely forgotten about the foundation itself, which is even more important than the beauty blender. So obviously, you know, if you're doing makeup, you need foundation because it's your foundation. So that was not a great thing to have forgotten. I did end up borrowing from someone I was staying with, but obviously you don't want to like be relying on that person for something so central to your cosplay, right? So I decided that I would try and track down some foundation and get more. The other thing that I forgot, well, I didn't forget, but I lost my lash glue on the second day. The first day I had my lash glue, I applied my lash glue, everything was great, all good, all fine. But then Saturday morning I go to use it and it's just gone. And we can't find it anywhere. It has just completely disappeared from the room. So don't know where it went, don't know how that happened, So that was also not good because that's another very central thing. Not as central as foundation, but still a very central thing when it comes to doing your makeup. The third thing was that I got my period on the first day of the convention. Didn't have what I needed for it. Did manage to like secure some pads, but like I didn't have enough for the full weekend. And again, I had a friend I was staying with who had some, but I didn't want to have to rely on them for that because again, it's something that you want to be self-sufficient with. So all this is a long way of saying I decided to stop at CVS on my way back to where we were staying because there was one on the way. But the thing is that I was in my full Pomni cosplay. So I walk into this CVS in my cosplay, intending to buy these things. But what I didn't know was that this particular CVS was actually in the process of closing down. So these were like the final weeks of this CVS being around. So it was like pretty much empty. I didn't take any photos or videos. I really should have, because I need you to picture this CVS that looks like the back rooms. You know, it's got empty shelving. It's got the dim light. It's pretty much empty. Like there's no one really shopping there. There are only like a few shelves that have some product, but not a lot of product. I did manage to find pads, but their cosmetic section was completely empty. And I'm of course cosplaying Pomni, who is like the liminal queen, honestly. So I'm just like this awkward kind of not having a good day. So, you know, very in character Pomni in this backrooms looking CVS buying pads. Like, oh, hi. I just need you to picture that. Like it's a great image. Yeah, it was just like the perfect mixture of just everything. So I struck out at this CVS. I went back to where we were staying and I needed to take a second to like kind of collect myself and like eat something. I needed to like kind of prepare myself to like change my cosplay and get back to the convention after having, you know, a miserable day. I take a minute and then I decide, okay, it's time to change back into Meryl. So the problem is that I'm the only one in the room, so I can't ask to borrow anybody's products. I mean, I could like text them and be like, hey, can I borrow your foundation? But I really didn't want to do that because obviously they're at the convention. They're probably not going to see my text, but also I don't really want to be a bother. I want to be self-sufficient. I'd have to ask if I can use their foundation. I'd have to ask where it was, and I'd have to like rifle through their things to find it. Like it just, no, not going to happen. So you have to picture I'm in white body paint. I have my lashes glued because I borrowed lash glue from one of the roommates that morning. What I decide to do is I decide to strategically wipe off the white face paint around the lashes. So trying to keep them intact, but trying to get the blue and red eyeshadow off of my eyes. So it was a delicate operation. It was a delicate operation, but we did it mostly. There was still some residue, obviously, because you're still gonna have residue. Stuff is gonna, you know, stick to the lash glue that's already on there. So it was a little sketchy by the end of it, but like I did as best as I could. Okay, then I had to figure out what I was going to do for foundation. So I had a little bit of BB cream. If you don't know what BB cream is, it's basically like a cream that you can technically use as a foundation, but it's meant to be more of a primer. So you put on your face and then it like evens out your skin so that your foundation goes on more smoothly and like, you know, acts like a primer so it stays on better. So it's not necessarily like super well matched to my skin tone because it usually goes under my foundation, but it was close enough that I was able to get away with it. So I used this BB cream as my foundation, you know, try to blend it in as best as possible because again, it's not like 100%, but like we're trying, we're doing our best. Then I also couldn't find, oh, I forgot about this. I couldn't find as well my contour and highlight stick. I use like a little roll-on like contour highlight stick thing and I couldn't find it. I did manage to find it like when we left, so not very helpful. But at that particular moment, I'm looking around for it and I couldn't find it. So I'm like, what am I gonna do? So I used some concealer to try and highlight my face. Couldn't contour, that's okay. That's okay. So I just need you to picture this very sketchy makeup job, right? If you saw me as Meryl at Sakura-Con on Saturday and my makeup looked sketchy, it's because it was, but I was doing my best. So I cobble together this makeup and I collect myself. I get my headphones on. I start my tunes so I can like get hyped for the convention, you know, pick myself back up after having such a miserable day. And I walk to the convention with, you know, listening to my music. And I get to the convention and I hang out for a little bit, go to the Trigun meetup, have a well, very awkward but great time because social anxiety was through the roof. You know, everybody was so cool and I felt very intimidated, but you know, I did my best to be social and to be like kind of out of my shell a little bit. I didn't do a good job of being out of my shell, but I tried and managed to have a good time. But man, did it take some doing to get there. Moral of the story is, with hard work and determination, you can make any day better. Sometimes you just need to, you know, take a minute, do what you need to do, and then, you know, get back at it. But anyway, that's my little story from Sakura-Con. I hope you enjoyed. And yeah, that's it. It's not a whole lot to it, but that's okay. Anyway, I'll see you guys all next time. But until then, faces, please be sure to take care. Bye. Hi, Charlie. Bless you. Hello. Oh, barf, barf.